Hey guys, it's Josh again. Today what I'm going to do is review the Elegoo Mars 4 9K resin printer. And I'll also do a quick review on the Crealty wash and cure station. That's the number 6 version. And it does resin prints, which you could do action figures or all kinds of different little odd and end things for it. Alright, so the Elegoo. To power on, you press that button. This prints in a high quality 4K or 9K print, which is a high resolution, which means you get pretty good prints out of it. You have to let it boot up. And then you can choose your tools, system, or print. Of course, you have to use a USB flash drive for this one. There's no Wi-Fi connectability. So it is stuck at using a USB drive. You'd have to slice it through the factory software, which is called Satellite, and then you put it on, save it to your USB stick, move it over to this, and print it out. So how you operate this is you remove the lid from it. You got that. This is your bed plate. It prints upside down compared to a modern printer, 3D printer. It prints bottom side up. This prints top side down. So that's kind of the way that goes. The filament that I use is going to be an Inland brand, and they sell this. This printer does a bunch of different kinds. This just happens to be the plant-based standard dark transparent blue. So it'll come out a blue color. I haven't used it yet. I just opened it. There is other resins. I have one right here. The beige color, which does like a skin tone, which I have a skin tone one somewhere. It makes it easier when you're printing. So to fill it, just take your resin, and there is a max line inside of there, depending on how big your print is. Ooh, that's actually a beautiful color. Fill it up. I'm gonna go about a little over halfway with it. Okay. Put the lid on that. In order to use, you have to make sure your screws on the side here are screwed in. That's what holds your, what they call a FEP film, which is a releasing film that keeps your 3D prints from sticking to the tray. It's kind of like a reservoir, because this one actually uses a UV light that shoots up through the bottom of this thing. It comes up into this resin onto this build plate, and it forms the design around that. So that's a weird kind of way to explain how that works. This is an air filter to make sure the air inside is good to go, and it filters out some of the harmful chemicals from 3D printing. So what we'll do, we'll get this lid put on it. Alright, lid is on. So now we're going to do a test print. I lost the little USB. Oh, here it is. No, that ain't it. Okay, so I lost the little USB drive. No, there. That I got a little cheap one. Now be careful using a different. This printer comes with a USB drive. Okay, that's the main one you would want to use at first, because it does have some of the factory files on it and things like that, and some test prints, and it'll help you calibrate it. But I grabbed me another one that can't be larger than 8 gigabytes. So these are really itty bitty USB drives. I just ended up buying a used one from the Grid in Charlotte, North Carolina, and hopefully it still works. I just got a little used one. I think this was $3 used. So that's what I got. Pop it in after it's turned on. When you use an aftermarket one, put it in after it's turned on, not before. I made the mistake when I first got this. I put a print on it and I stuck it straight in, and it ended up bricking it. It bricked the entire 3D printer, and what I had to do was get the factory USB stick. I had to go plug it into my computer, and I had to download the firmware and end up installing that firmware and back into this 3D printer. And that was the only way I could get it fixed. So when you do use an aftermarket one, make sure you put it in after it's turned on, because it's searching for files on that 3D printer. And we'll see. This is the first time. I might have to back this thing up a little bit to get it to work. First time I've used it since I got this stand for it. I'll put a link in the stand. It's actually for filament for those types of printers. But it had that flat kind of top on it, and I knew it would work great, and it was a lot cheaper than trying to get one with a metal top, because you don't need all that, a metal top or a wood top. All right, now USB drive is working. It is turned red. We're going to hit the print button. All right, there it goes. It read it. That's some of the other files. I got Goku, Vegeta, a couple other things. Here's the one we're going to do. We're going to do one called Dragon 1. I'm going to click on that. It's going to show us the sliced file. You can kind of see inside of that what it's going to be. It's got supports around it, so it's a little bit harder to kind of tell what's designed and what's not unless you know what you're looking for. But all this, it looks like a bridge, is going to be supports that snap off of it. So once this is loaded up, we're going to hit play or the start button. We're going to end up seeing that top bed take itself down. It's going to lower itself down. It's this particular unit's not self-leveling, but you use sheets of paper to level it, which I've already done. That's been pre-done. So that end of it is good. It's going to lower itself down into that resin, that liquid resin we did, and then it's going to do a print. At the end of the print, it's going to turn out with something that looks like this. This is a resin printed design that I didn't remove the supports from. I ran out of liquid and didn't catch it fast enough, so it didn't print that particular portion of its head. But I kept it as an example. So it'll print out those supports, and then the supports will snap off, which I've actually cured these to make them a little bit harder. All right. The finished product, that is the same as this one right here. There is Goku. And this is tough. Like, this is a solid piece. This is almost as tough as concrete. Keep in mind, this is a hard resin material. Pretty cool design. Alright. Also got Vegeta. My wife's going to paint these up for me. She's got her little painting station we've set up that just got her set up. So she's going to paint some of these. Alright, so when these are done, move it over to our Crealty station, our wash and cure station. What you're going to do first is you want to wash the design in a 90% alcohol or 91% alcohol. So inside of there, there's a little tray. It comes with a tray. It comes with that inner container that holds the alcohol, and it also comes with the curing thing, which I normally just store on top to keep it out of the way. Sometimes I'll throw it to the side, but most of the time I just put it on top, regardless of what I'm doing. The on switch is on the back, and you'll set your timer. I normally wash mine for 10 minutes. A lot of things say 5 minutes, but I'll end up a lot of times setting mine for 10. We're going to wash it. We're going to do it fast. We're going to hit play. And what will end up happening is there's a little fan inside of there. And that little fan, stir it up. I've used that alcohol a few times, so it is a little murky, and it's got this cover on it. That cover's like blocks out UV lights, so the resin don't cure unevenly. You kind of see the ripples inside of there starting to form. So that thing gets on it pretty good. Once it gets going, it'll end up creating what looks like a little tornado in there. Well, there you go. So like, even though that thing's halfway full, which is, that's a big container, it's got so much force, you could see that. Like, that's pretty nice, as long as you're not got like something huge in there blocking the whole area off. And every once in a while it'll stop spinning one direction and turn around and spin back the other way. So I think that's pretty neat. Alright, so move on. Once that's done, what you want to do is it'll stop automatically after 10 minutes. It's good to go. But after that, what you want to do is remove your top. Alright, we'll get this little thing out of the way for now. Set it up here. Alright, there's your alcohol resin. You can see the basket inside of it that comes with it that you put your stuff in. Alright, remove that. Alright, now you can see the motor is right there. It works through magnets on that thing, is what I believe it does. A little dirty because it's been used. Take your little tray that we had sitting on top, put it in, make sure it clips in, and then you want to put your lid back on. You have to put this lid back on, and I'm going to go ahead and show you a little issue I had with this. Now, you see this sticker back here in the back corner? I had to put that on. This unit which is facing, I'll show you which direction it's facing. This unit would only work. I couldn't get it to work. It wouldn't turn on and kept acting like it had a light issue or the lid issue. These won't turn on unless the lids are on them. Well, it's got a light sensor in the back that senses if the lid's on, and it's behind this piece right here, this curing light. It's on the very bottom down here in the corner. Back here down here in the corner on the back side of it. And the only way I could get it to work, I would put my hand over it. I actually figured it out on accident. I put my hand over it and the curing light turned on. Everything started working. So I took my hand off and it quit working. Put it back, it started working. So I realized that this cover for it's not actually blocking out enough light to make that sensor think that it's dark inside of there. And so I took one of the factory stickers. It comes with a little thing of stickers. Stuck a sticker on top of where that light would have been. Fixed the issue immediately. Things started working, been working ever since. It blocked out, by putting that one sticker in the right spot, it blocked out all the light. Alright, but get to it. We're going to swap the mode over to cure. We're going to do normal. We'll set a 10-minute timer. We'll hit start. As you can see, the curing light fogged up. That is a curing light. And you see leftover resin that's inside of there from some that's making that Vegeta and Goku and a couple of other designs. But that curing light, it'll spin it automatically for however long you want to do it. I do it for about 5 minutes, and then I kind of turn the designs a little bit, do it for another 5 minutes, and then turn it again, might do it another 5 minutes. Some things, getting conflicting information about how long to cure. Either way, it'll cure naturally in the sunlight after about 8 hours or so. But you can use this machine and it cures it in anywhere from 5 to 15 minutes. Sometimes 20, you know, it just depends on whatever you want to do. And that's pretty much it. And it'll stop on its own. And it works pretty good. I showed you those designs that I made, and I'll show you some of these over here. All right, there's some women that I made out of the beige type material, and that's really about all I've made. And Stephanie started to paint on that one. Yeah, pretty girl. Yeah. All right. So I believe that's all of. Oh, I did this hand. I was able to do this hand with it. Turned out really, really nice. Resin printers do a lot higher quality when you're looking to sell a hard product. Like that's a tough product. Like that's heavy. That's not lightweight. If you used to do this in like PLA filament or something, this wouldn't be heavy at all. And you also wouldn't be able to, a lot of times, make out those small wrinkles and details in the hand, like it's got veins. That's the designer's initials, JS, that designed this design. Pretty cool. That one needs no painting. Like it's ready. It's cool now. All right. So that's pretty much it. If you got any questions, it does come with like a little toolkit and some cleaning stuff, and like I said, that USB stick, or the Elegoo does, and the Crealty does too. It comes with like stickers and things like that. All right, but we'll go back to this design real quick. You can see. Every time it flashes up a design, that right there, that's the particular layer that it's printing, what it looks like. So it hits it real quick and then hits it again with the next layer. And like I said, there's a light inside there, and if you can see that, it slightly moves up and down. So it hits it right there, it's hitting it, and then it'll quit hitting it and it'll raise up, get a little more filament, and then it goes back down to get hit again. And it'll do that all the way up, and you can make them almost as tall as that thing is. Now the only thing is it does make them extremely tall, but you can't make them but so wide. You know what I mean? So and that particular machine, that's not a huge resin printer. It's actually kind of like medium size. It's not the smallest, but it's not quite like true large medium. So you know, these Goku figures about, you know, height wise, compared to Goku, probably printed about that high compared to Goku, and then width-wise about that long. And I think this one I actually did print on its back like that. I printed it like that, or like that inside of the machine. So it printed that way at the base of it. The top's more narrow, so you can't really tell, but I printed something like that. All right, well, thank you guys for watching the video, and I'll do another one on these printers in just a few. I got a pretty cool setup on them. Them are Cobra 3s, and if you want to see that review, I will post it here in just a few. Thank you.